Stephen Curry was never supposed to be here. He was too small, too skinny, and not strong enough. At least that's what the experts said. Born in Akron, Ohio, and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina, Steph grew up watching his father, Del Curry, play in the NBA. The game was in his blood, but his path wasn't easy. In high school, he could shoot from anywhere, but still, the big colleges ignored him. They didn't believe he could compete with stronger athletes. Only one school gave him a real chance, Davidson College. There, he started to prove the world wrong. In his very first season, Steph showed his magic. He hit threes with ease, dribbled past defenders like water slipping through cracks, and played with a calmness beyond his age. But it was the 2008 NCAA tournament that changed everything. He led Tiny Davidson to the Elite Eight, beating big schools, shocking the nation, and turning himself into a star. Suddenly, people were watching. Suddenly, the kid they said was too weak looked unstoppable. Steph declared for the NBA draft in 2009. Many still doubted him, but the Golden State Warriors saw something others didn't. They picked him 7th overall.
Pick in the 2009 NBA draft, the Golden State Warriors select Stephen Curry from Davidson College.
And that decision would change the NBA forever. Steph entered the NBA quietly. No loud interviews, no big muscles. Just a soft-spoken kid with a quick release and deadly accuracy. His first few seasons were tough. Injuries in his ankles kept him off the court. People started wondering if he could survive in the league. But behind the scenes, Steph was working harder than ever. He strengthened his body, fixed his form, and improved his handles. He studied the game deeply. When he returned healthy, he wasn't just better, he was different. He played faster, smarter, and more confident. The Warriors saw it too. They built their team around him. With Klay Thompson by his side, the Splash Brothers were born. Together, they launched a storm of three-pointers the league had never seen. But Steph was the heart. His range seemed endless. He could shoot from half court like it was nothing. Fans stood every time he crossed midcourt. Defenders panicked. Coaches rewrote defensive plans just for him. And slowly, Steph began to change the way the game was played. No longer was size everything. Skill, speed, and spacing took over. And Steph was leading the revolution. In 2015, he won his first MVP and led the Warriors to a championship. The kid they said was too small had become the biggest star in basketball. What made Steph different wasn't just the way he played. It was the joy he brought to the game. Every time he stepped on the court, he smiled like a kid playing in the park. He danced after big shots, celebrated with teammates, and made impossible plays look effortless. He didn't just hit threes, he turned them into fireworks. No-look shots, quick releases, step-backs from 30 feet. He brought fun back to basketball, and fans loved it. Kids copied him on playgrounds. Players added long-range shots to their game. Teams focused more on shooting than ever before. In 2016, Steph took things to another level. He became the first player in history to be voted MVP unanimously. That season, the Warriors won 73 games, a league record. Steph hit over 400 three-pointers, a number that sounded unreal. But for him, it was just the result of years of practice and belief. Even when defenses threw everything at him, double teams, traps, rough play, he stayed calm. He moved without the ball, found open spots, and trusted his teammates. He didn't force the game, he flowed with it, and the results were magical. But that season ended in heartbreak. The Warriors lost in the finals to LeBron James and the Cavaliers after leading 3-1. Critics came out again. Some said Steph wasn't built for pressure. Others said the three-point style had limits. Steph didn't argue. He went back to work, because that's what champions do. The Warriors came back stronger. In 2017, they added Kevin Durant, creating one of the most powerful teams in NBA history. Steph didn't complain. He welcomed the help. Some stars might have let ego get in the way, but Steph only cared about winning. They won back-to-back championships in 2017 and 2018. Steph played his role perfectly. He passed when needed, took over when it mattered, and never chased stats. He showed that greatness doesn't always need to be loud. Sometimes it's quiet, selfless, and full of trust. But the journey wasn't always smooth. In 2019, injuries hit again. Durant left. Klay tore his ACL. The dynasty fell apart. The Warriors missed the playoffs. Doubters returned. Was the magic over? Steph didn't think so. In 2021, with a young, rebuilding team, Steph put on a show. He won the scoring title at age 33. He carried the Warriors night after night, proving he still had it. The fire in his eyes never dimmed, his range even deeper, his leadership even stronger. Then came 2022. With Klay finally back and a healthy roster, the Warriors made another run. They reached the finals once more. And this time, Steph made sure no one could question him again. In the 2022 NBA Finals, Steph faced the Boston Celtics. The series was tough, physical, fast, but Steph was focused. He had heard the talk for years. No finals MVP, can't carry a team, can't do it alone. So he did what legends do. Game after game, he took control. Deep threes, smart passes, clutch moments. In Game 4, he dropped 43 points on the road, silencing the crowd and swinging the series. In Game 6, he sealed the title. Warriors were champions again, and Steph, finally, was crowned Finals MVP. He cried as the clock ran out, not from pain, but from pride, from proving that belief, patience, and heart can rewrite any story. That fourth ring meant more than the others. It wasn't just about basketball. It was about rising through doubt, leading through change, and staying true to himself. Steph never tried to be anyone else. He made the game fit his style. And in doing so, he changed the way basketball is played forever. Coaches now build teams around shooters. Young players train for deep threes. The game is faster, wider, and more open, all because of what Steph brought to the court. Stephen Curry's story is bigger than stats, trophies, or records. It's about believing in your gift, even when no one else does. It's about changing the game not by overpowering it, but by reimagining it. He wasn't the tallest, strongest, or fastest, but he had the sharpest skill and the purest heart. He worked when no one watched, practiced shots others never dared to try, and when the lights came on, he delivered. More than anything, Steph inspired a generation. He made it okay to be different. He showed that joy, faith, and humility can still lead to greatness. That small can be mighty. That quiet can still roar. He brought families together around TVs, made kids believe they could hit a game winner from half court. He made basketball a game of creativity and wonder again. Stephen Curry didn't just play basketball. He reshaped it. He gave it color, rhythm, and range. And he did it with a smile that never faded. He is still writing his story, still hitting deep threes, still making the impossible look easy. But one thing is already clear. The game will never be the same again because Stephen Curry changed it forever.